Good morning. Here is the Great Basin Smoke Dispersion Briefing for this Monday, April 24th. Starting off with precipitation over the past 7 days on the left-hand side, you can see fairly wet across the northern half or two-thirds of Nevada and Utah, but dry across much of eastern and southern Utah through the Arizona Strip and down into southern Nevada, where it's been dry for quite some time, and finer fields are starting to dry out down there. But everywhere else, so you get into Idaho and western Wyoming, looks almost like a winter-type week with about a ½ inch to an inch and a half of precipitation. You can see that that is fairly either slightly to much above normal for much of these central and northern areas, but see that dry tongue where we normally see it in southern Utah down into southern Nevada. A look at the satellite imagery with upper-level maps superimposed shows a more late winter type pattern than something we'd expect in late April. Deep low pressure over the Pacific Northwest and abundant Pacific moisture getting absorbed into the storm system with lots of clouds and showers from California through Nevada into most of Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming as well, even into the Arizona Strip a little bit. So this will be our weather pattern for the next 24 hours. And if you look further upstream, you see more moisture associated with other weather disturbances following the same path. So we are looking not just at some wet weather in the short term, but for much of the week as well. So looking at today's upper level map on the left-hand side, this is a computer model projection for later this afternoon. Copious amounts of moisture and a strong jet stream here across the Great Basin with significant long-term precipitation from Idaho all the way down through most of the areas you see in the green to dark green through here. Again, valley rain and mountain snow above about 6,000 to 7,000 feet. There could be anywhere from 6 to 12 inches of snow in the next 24 hours. On the right-hand side, of course, with that comes excellent dispersion, these areas in the white. Of course, with the precipitation comes the fact that large-scale broadcast burns with a steady precipitation probably not doable in a lot of these wet areas. If we look at the transport winds on the left-hand side, quite strong. We see these oranges and purples, 25 to 35 miles per hour. So good horizontal transport and good mixing heights here, especially in the yellow and orange, where the mixing heights are about 3,000 to 5,000 feet above the ground surface. On Tuesday, we have the storm system pulling away out of here into the upper Midwest. A little dry slot before another storm system approaches the west coast. Dispersion overall pretty good. You can see these upper level winds and these transport winds coming out of more of a northwesterly direction. And so we look at these transport winds on the left-hand side for Tuesday. You can see more of a northwest to northerly flow and quite gusty across southern areas, and especially out here in Utah where gusts could exceed 45, where you see the dark purple shades, lighter winds to the north. Also excellent vertical dispersion to go along with that. Wednesday, next storm system rolls through, where you see the green and dark green, steady precipitation, more rain and mountain snow. Snow levels about 6,000 to 7,000 feet. Tapering off, of course, as you head further south. On the right-hand side, excellent dispersion where you see areas in the white. And looking at our transport winds, quite strong, especially in the lee of the Sierra, where transport winds, also ridge gust winds of over 50 miles per hour possible. A little bit lighter as you head to the east, but basically a westerly to southwesterly direction. Excellent overall vertical mixing to go along with that. The Utah Clearing Index both today, Tuesday, and Wednesday looking really good, where you see the red to yellow, quite good overall dispersion. And we look at our precipitation for the next 3 days, Monday morning through Thursday morning, quite wet across the northern half or northern two-thirds of our area, with some mountain areas receiving over 2 inches of precipitation. Of course, translating to snow could be a foot of snow or more in some of the higher terrain areas, but dry to our south. Again, and they've been dry for quite some time. I'll look further down the road. On Thursday, we are still in a strong jet stream with a west-northwest flow, some residual moisture through here, but no significant precipitation, but still so far removed from high pressure that, as we can see on the right-hand side, dispersion in the white, excellent in all areas. So this could be a first good burning day, especially in some of the middle to higher elevations. On Friday, we have deep low pressure redeveloping, kind of working its way backwards into our area. This will wrap more precipitation back from east to west across Wyoming into parts of Idaho and into northern Utah. So that'll also be a factor. Could be some snow because the upper level temperatures will be quite cold. Excellent dispersion, all areas. As we go into the weekend, Saturday, drying out behind that system as it drops off into New Mexico. We have a little weak ridge of high pressure building in, not too much, but overall on the right-hand side, excellent dispersion with northerly to northwesterly transport winds on the light side, maybe more like 8 to 15 miles an hour. And on Sunday, we're kind of in between systems. Low pressure well off to our east, and high pressure, you can't even see it. It's well off to the south and west off our map. So we're kind of in between both, and maybe some clouds where you see this brighter shade of green. Another storm system approaching the Pacific Northwest. Still overall excellent dispersion. Maybe a slight decrease here where you see the reddish areas in a few spots, but overall not too bad. We look at precipitation Thursday morning through Saturday morning, additional quarter-inch or so across parts of Nevada, maybe a half-inch to an inch across a good portion of Utah, staying dry, Arizona Strip, down into much of southern Nevada and western Nevada, staying wet in our northern areas. And finally, the extended 8 to 14-day outlook. This takes us from May 1st through May 7th. See a warming trend. High pressure will be building in, so above normal temperatures inching in from west to east, and also looking at below normal temperature precipitation chances during the same time period in these same areas. So we should see a drying trend overall. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.